Y'all want to see something cool? Hell yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to RaceSpec. And before we start this video, I'm going to tell you what it's about because it's kind of long and I think you should stay for the entire video. We're going to go over headers, right? PPE, SICKI, ARH, what I think about all of them, a little bit of tech specs. Background, I've had a lot of headers on a lot of American cars, so I'm going to share my thoughts and hopefully this information is useful to you. So without further ado, we'll go to the next clip, I guess. And today we're going to cover, not an issue, but a lot of you guys have asked me, hey Ray, why don't you have headers on your car? Well, I'm going to go ahead and cover it now. So we don't have, just got out of the gym. I don't have headers on this car for one very, very simple reason. I've raced a lot of local Fs here in SoCal, but obviously in Mexico because we're very close to Tijuana. And they have intakes, they have PP headers, and I just have a catback, right? And air filter, but I didn't have the air filter when I raced them. And the races were way too close. Like, they'd win, I'd win, or we would just straight be even, you know what I mean? And I was just like, dude, why am I gonna spend $1,500 for headers just to not get any noticeable result? Because the install's like $800. So you're talking $2,000-$3,000 to not really see a difference, right? And like, does that make sense? I don't think so, but anyways, here we are. We've basically done everything to this car, and I'm going to go ahead and answer a question that hasn't been asked, and that is, well, Ray, so obviously you don't want to do headers, but if you did do headers, which headers would you do? And the answer to that is American racing headers. Why is that? Well, a little bit of background on me. I've had Shelby GT500. I briefly had a C7 Z06. As you know, I have the single cab. I've had a lot of V8 cars, performance cars, and American racing is the go-to. You know, you get them for your Vipers, you get them for your 1,000 horsepower Corvettes, boosted Mustangs. That's what you go to, right? So, what are the differences, Ray? Why American racing? Besides the name, right? Besides your experience. Well, PPE headers, I've seen them before. Quality product, amazing product. But the primaries, which are the tubes on the header, they're 1 3/4 inch, right? Real good size. But the American racing headers are 1 7/8 inch, so they're a bigger header. So PP has two types of headers. They have the unequal length and then they have the equal length, right? So the unequal length, what they mean by that is the length of the tube, right? Obviously, one side of the engine is different to the other side of the engine. So your tube diameter from the head to where it connects in your exhaust, it's gonna be different, right? By like a couple inches. So you'll notice that the unequal length headers have all these twists and stuff on one of the sides, and that's because they want the same amount of tubing from the engine to where it connects to the exhaust, right? So then you have equal length tubes. So a lot of people do this for sound, blah, 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 blah. But in performance terms, from my experience in the American car scene, their unequal length header is more of a short tube header, right? Shorty because it's short, it's not very long. Goes from the head to your stock exhaust, that's it. Even in the truck scene, nobody gets shorty headers. Why? Because they get like 2 wheel horsepower, maybe 5. Because it just changes the stock manifold, basically. If you don't know, the stock manifold on the F has a cat on it. It has a catalytic converter. This car comes with 4 cats, 2 on the mid-pipe, 2 on the manifold. These cars gain the most power with a mid-pipe. I'm going to do a dyno video to let you guys know exactly how much. But yeah, the unequal length is basically a shorty header. Not optimal in any kind of performance application. But here you might see an improvement because it deletes a cat, right? And people swear by them. So then there's the unequal length header, which would be referred to as a mid-length header in the American car scene. Those actually make some power, supposedly. Some people run them, especially if they're California smog legal down here. People love them. If I were to go PP headers, I would go with the equal length header. But the one thing I don't like about PP is the 1 3/4. There's Sicky headers as well. They have an 1 7/8, right? It's a thicker diameter tube for the Sicky and for the American Racing. And then if there's any, biased people out there for one of the brands, they're going to be like, well, this company engineered it smaller because it's better for the RCF, blah, 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 blah. Well, unless they did both 1 7/8 and 1 3/4, there really isn't an argument or a valid one. You got to do back-to-back testing. But at least on a single cab on my truck, the difference between an 1 3/4 long tube header and an 1 7/8 is actually pretty substantial. Maybe like 10, 15 wheel, especially when you start throwing boost at the car, because you're throwing in more air, you got to expel more air, a thicker tube, it's better. All right, cool. So then those are the differences, right? Oh, and the American Racing header, not only is it a 7/8, it's a long tube header. You got a shorty header, mid-length header, and a long tube header. Ask any Corvette, any Mustang, any Silverado, Camaro guy, and be like, hey dude, would you rather have a shorty, a mid-length, or a long tube header? Every single one of them will say long tube header every single time, because they're very performance oriented people. I mean, that's why you get those cars, right, to go fast. Lexus, it's most people's first fast car, so they go with what they read. So yeah, I would go with the American Racing header. And another thing I really, really like about those headers, and the reason why I might possibly buy a set, even though I said I wasn't going to get headers because I haven't seen a difference, is their mid pipe is 3 inches. If you didn't know, most of the aftermarket mid pipes and axle backs for the RCF are 2.5 inches, right? So you gain a whole half inch, and that's optimal for any car. 3 inches is standard. Could it be a little overkill for this car? Maybe, but we will see. So yeah, all the local guys have PPE. There was one guy that had Sicky, Chirk GSF. You can check out the review I did on his car. His car ran real good on those headers, by the way. So yeah, there's nobody down here with the 8RH headers, so I want to go with that, be the first one, race the other guys, and see if there's any differences, and if so, how big these differences are, right? So the plan is we're gonna go ahead and dyno this car right now with its current setup. It's got a GTHAUS mid pipe, Lexon titanium axle back muffler. Obviously the mid pipe's 2.5 inches, and I'm gonna find someone with a stock RCF. I already found someone actually, before any of you ask, and I'm gonna pay for their dyno so they can dyno their stock RCF, and you will see the difference in power between a catback car and a stock car. So yeah, that's pretty exciting, and yeah, that'll be dope. And then if I decide to pull the trigger on the headers, then we'll do another dyno after them, see what happens. It will have a check engine light when I do headers. Doesn't matter what brand you get. I can try an O2 conditioner, see if that fixes it at all. But I guess you can fix that with a tune, but kind of don't want to get one because I haven't seen a power difference on those either. But if I get a tune, it'll be literally just to get rid of the check engine light. But those are the differences. Thanks for watching. And I kind of felt like this video was necessary, especially because I'm thinking about buying headers. So I thought I'd share my knowledge about headers from, my past life, if you want to call it that. Because I have a lot of experience with headers. I've had many, many headers on many, many cars. I've actually had a set of American Racing long tube headers before. And I think I'm going to pull a trigger. I'll hit them up, see if they're willing to do anything for me. See if they want to work together on something. But yeah, see if it does anything on this car. I'm worried it might be too loud though, because long tubes tend to get loud. This car's pretty loud already. So also thinking about going back to black wheels. Let me know what you guys think about that. Kind of miss the all black look. I wouldn't sell these wheels before any of you ask. I would just put them on the side and then just switch from black to gold, like indefinitely. But yeah, there's the car. Oh, look at this. I need to re-wrap this car. Freaking cats, man. Oh, you can't really see it from that angle. So I have kittens, and they have scratched my vinyl wrap literally everywhere. So maybe it's time to rewrap it. Thinking of gloss red or staying with satin black. Let me know what y'all think on that, because your opinion does matter. If you got this far in the video, I have a surprise for you. So I'm giving away free race spec decals for all of you that are loyal subscribers. Just go on this one right here. Just go on the merch store down below. There's the link. Type in code free decal, and this is already $0 on my website. Free decal will give you free shipping. Don't be one of those guys that gets that first class $30 shipping, because I'm using a stamp anyways and I'm marking the order as fulfilled. But yeah, get your race spec decal rep. Share it on your Instagram. I'll share it on my story, and I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.